Hello and welcome to one of our first videos that we will be posting. Today we would like to just take a look at the conspiracy set and kind of look at some of the legendary creatures that are in conspiracy. Some are reprints, some are not, but either way we're going to take a look at them and see if they can make a good commander and potential deck ideas for these sorts of creatures that we have to offer. So we started looking, and one of the first legendary creatures we saw was Basandra, the Angel reprint. Now, Basandra, it forces your opponents to not be able to cast spells, or actually, well, players can't cast spells during combat phase. And then it also allows you to control the combat phase. It allows you to pay 1 red, and a target creature attacks this turn. I think this card is basically designed to control the combat phase. If you're looking for a card that sort of does that, I think this would be an excellent commander for that sort of deck. Um, Scourge of the Throne would work well in this deck, mostly because it just helps you control the combat phase a little bit more. It allows you to take an additional combat phase, and it has Dethrone, making it even bigger, and it has flying. Ajani Vengeance works well with this commander, allowing you to tap a certain creature and then leaving intact with Ajani's +1. I think that's an excellent combo. I think this would work well in a deck together, controlling the combat phase. Now, Brago is the next potential. Now, he's a legendary creature, he's a spirit. He is flying, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you exile non-land cards, and you return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. So I was thinking this will work rather well with some sort of enter the battlefield type cards. Basically, I'm not sure what else you would go with this. I think it's rather interesting. It reminds me of Venser, the Planeswalker. His +1 ability basically just allows you to flash stuff on and off the battlefield. And basically, I think this will work rather well with something entering the battlefield, like the Iona, Shield of Maria. I think this works well because if someone's bugging you, then you can just flash that off and on the battlefield and change the color of it. That opponent can't cast that color. I think that would also work well with Quicksilver Gargantuan or any other clone card. I think this could lead to some epic combos, allowing you to continuously copy other creatures. I think that would work rather well. That'd be pretty effective as well. And the next one, we're going to look at Grenzo, Goblin Rogue. Um, Basically, he's X and black and red. And for his ability, you can look at a creature or look at the bottom of your library, and if it's a creature card with equal or less than the power of Grenzo, you get to put it on the battlefield. Now, I know sometimes you might not always give me or get you the specific card that you need, so I was thinking this could work well with the Reanimator deck. I think Champion of the Stray Souls will work excellent in this deck. Um, I think it'd be interesting to see a bunch of reanimating creatures, just kind of bringing stuff back, because you most of the time won't get what you want, or won't be able to cast it due to Grenzo's power. Whip of Erebos works well in this deck, allowing your creatures to have lifelink and allowing you to bring back stuff from the dead. I think that works rather well. Um, I think another good card in this would be Liliana, the Planeswalker. So, Liliana, I think this is a great card for this deck if you were to build it based around reanimating. I think it allows you to look for a specific card you want, and it allows you to put all the creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under your control. Now, Marchesa, this is it's a versatile card. Has Dethrone, gives all your creatures Dethrone, and allows you to bring back creatures at the beginning of the next end step, I believe. And I think this is overall a great card. I think it allows you to rack up a ton of +1/+1 counters. It basically just allows you to control the game. So I think a good aspect that this card brings to the table is control. I think that it allows your creatures to get really big, and I can just see this potentially being a really destructive deck. Marchesa Smuggler allows stuff to get haste and be unblockable this turn. That's a great card, specifically designed for Marchesa, and it has Dethrone already. So basically, you're just going to be racking up counters without worrying about them dying. Reign of the Pit, this will work well with the control aspects, allows you to sacrifice, to allow your opponents to sacrifice, and then having a gigantic creature that keeps getting +1 is just ridiculous. Now, Dak Faden adds the control aspect to the table. I like this card from Conspiracy. This is a very excellent Planeswalker. A very control aspect as well. Allows you to draw two and discard two, or target other people. Dak's Duplicate, I think this works rather well in this deck as well, already has Dethrone, and it allows you to copy something on the battlefield. This is a great card, specifically for this deck, because that's just amazing to control the battlefield like this, with these specific cards. Now, Selvala, this is another interesting card. New card from Conspiracy. I like the new mechanic from Conspiracy as well, Parlay. Um, I like the fact that you can just tap it and then you could potentially have a ton of mana, especially when you're playing in a multiplayer game, and it allows your opponents to draw. I think this is a very social deck. I think this will bring a lot of friends. Probably want a lot of people to play with you, have you in your play groups and stuff. I think this will be a really fun deck to play against. Mirari's Wake. I like this because it gives your creatures +1/+1, and you tap for an additional mana. I think that'll help even with the commander's ability. I think that'll work. That'll be a pretty good pair. Now, this Woodbine Elemental, I think it's interesting. It also goes along with the mechanic. I just noticed this mechanic, and I decided to put on the video to show exactly what you can do with this deck. Now, another thing I saw was, this is kind of a funny combo. Edric, I know he's a reprint, but whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So I was thinking, well, he's an elf. Now, how would an elf tribal deck work with this? And I was kind of thinking, there's one specific planeswalker that allows you to ultimate it and put all elves from your library, I believe, onto the battlefield. Now, I think this would really funny to watch. Not necessarily be playing against, but you would eventually know yourself, but probably eliminate someone along the way. I think this would be just very fun combo to watch. Maybe not necessarily if you're the one getting hit by a ton of elves, but on a more serious aspect, I think Horizon Chimera would be great with this deck. I think whenever you draw a card, you gain a life. That'd be very effective with this deck. You'd be gaining a ton of life, and you'd be drawing a bunch of cards at the same time. I think that'd be a really good deck. Now here, this commander, I don't even know what to tell you about him. You can just read the text yourself and realize that this is just a ridiculous card. Being able to deal half the damage dealt, I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. I think, I believe if it says damage, you can just give it lifelink, and that'd just be even worse. This is overall a mean card. I don't think many people would want to play against it. You'd probably, yeah, you probably just wouldn't have many people playing against you. Now, Malignus also goes along with this deck. One of my friends plays Malignus in his commander deck, and it is probably the most annoying card in his deck. I also believe that Dictate of the Twin Gods is excellent for this. I think if you were to play this deck, I think you definitely have to have this card, or else it just wouldn't be the same. Being able to deal double the damage and then just basically just instantly killing someone with your commander is probably one of the most ridiculous things in the commander series. Now, Muzio. I really like this commander. I like that he's new in Conspiracy. I think he's better than Arkham Daxon in my opinion. Although Arkham Daxon allows you to look through your entire library, I feel like Muzio is even better because you can just cast something from your library, I'm sorry, and put it on the battlefield. Now, I can see this being potentially good in an artifact deck and allowing you to just scry, I guess, sort of, and look at the top cards. And if you manage to find a Blightsteel Colossus and look at the top 12 cards, that's just even more ridiculous. That allows you to look through so many more options, allows you to pick through so many cards, so many artifacts. You can pick up other stuff such as Darksteel Colossus. And these creatures have indestructibility, so they're gigantic in mana cost, but yet you play them for 4 mana, and you get to look at your upcoming and set up your library for even further later games. Now, Darksteel Forge would work great in this deck as well. Basically, I was thinking you can look for whatever you want and put whatever you need from that potential 12 card draw and put whatever you really need on the battlefield at that time. Now, this is a joke, again, because it's vague. Well, you see, it says, if you don't cast it from your hand, then you lose the game. So technically, if you want to put it in your commander, I don't really see why you would. It would not be effective. I would not recommend it unless you feel like killing yourself for some random reason. Um, but yeah, if you want to put it in a commander deck, yeah, that's definitely great, but maybe not a commander, because if you put it from the command zone, then you instantly lose the game. That's just my take on that card. I'm not sure what else you'd want to do with it other than just have it in your deck. Now, honorable mentions, these can't be commanders since they're not legendary, but these are great cards. Magister of the Worth I really like because it has flying and it has Will of the Council, and being able to either destroy the board or wipe the board clean or just put all creatures is just amazing. Now Decimate, I like how it's 4 mana. I like that you destroy one of each type. I think that's a great card for Commander. I'd love to see that in play. Hydra Omnivore, this is a ridiculous card. I feel like if you manage to give it lifelink and then deal combat damage to the weakest player, you can potentially be gaining a ton of life. So I would love to see this card, even though it's already been printed before. Thank you for watching. I know this is probably not very organized, but I'll be posting much more videos later on, and I'm excited to be paired up with my partner. I'm excited to start posting more videos and help you guys out. If you guys want to see some sort of deck tech on any of the cards that I mentioned, I would definitely be happy to do so, and I would definitely be able to test it against my partner. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this channel.